How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Historic Brawl. Today, you saw our commander already. A little slow on the mouse movements. We're playing Jin-Gitaxias, our second Praetor. The only Praetor that I've opened legitimately, without having to craft him. I see legitimate. Crafting is legitimate too, right? But it's, I don't know. The brain was not working. Ugh. Either way, we're getting into our brain because we have to play Big Brain Blue today. And Big Brain Blue says that we have to... There are certain things we have to do. And I'm getting worried that there might be bad things happening to us. We already have a 5-turn clock on turn 3, which is not where we want to be, honestly. I have no cards in my graveyard. Yeah, I guess we discard that. Then we can gain 7 life, play a 5/5. It could be fun. Do we have the mana? We do have the mana. That is a good start. Poor Jin. He's got some cool abilities, but his transformation is a little difficult. So we do have a way to win the game. That's nice. Yorion. Ooh, I have not seen this artwork yet. I considered playing some of the older commanders that we got in the new set based on the new artwork, because I have been picking, or I have been collecting slowly some of the artwork that discard? Or did I discard my only counterspell? None of these things make sense. There we go. We're not going to invasion. We're just going to use our counterspell to protect our approach to the second sun. We have this one. Aha. It's a shame that poor Borgus Forgus has come up against us with a lucky Key to the Archive draw, because yeah, that just wins the game, right? We had the flow to draw a bunch of cards, and we had the there we go. Not the right color, but yeah. Yeah, I still am missing some Praetors, which means we are still trying to open packs. But there's just so many good cards to build around. Like, I was thinking about how behind I am on covering Praetors, and then I thought to myself, well, it's because we've covered like 15, 16 new commanders over the past few weeks, and it's like, that is a lot of commanders. I don't know if it's actually 15 or 16. I know it's at least 10, and I think it's a little bit above 10. So I think I'll keep this. We don't have many 2-drops on the deck. Alter Dementia is one of the 2-drops that was good enough to get in the deck. Flow of Knowledge is an insane card. Especially in mono blue commander decks. Phyrexian Tower. That's a bit of mana. Huh. I think we go with the invasion, honestly. Our opponent has conceded. I don't really count that as a win, but, you know, that's 2 wins in 6 minutes. That's pretty good. I say it's like counted as a win. Yeah, it's not really right, because our opponent conceded early. Maybe they just feared they were too far behind. Or maybe their deck didn't quite line up well against the matchup, right? Because it seemed like a discard deck. Generally, Engath in the command zone means they want to try to discard. And in the Rakdos version of the discard deck, but it doesn't always work very well against mono blue, because if they can get the card draw out early, it doesn't really matter. Azcanta, one of the other 2-drops that made it into the deck, because it is just so powerful. They've even errated it on Arena to say Surveil 1, which is nice. Doesn't have, oh, it does have some flavor text, doesn't it? The Sunken Ruin houses all the learning of a long forgotten age. Good to know. Our opponent is a Tovlar deck. I do respect me some werewolves, but I feel as though this could be rough for us. We don't have any of our counter spells, but we do have some of our bounce spells. And the search will definitely help. Okay, there's a counter spell. It's one of the more iffy counter spells. Mainly because the reason you're paying 4 mana for it's for the Seek ability, and the Seek ability varies wildly in how decent it is. Hikaru, Daisuke, Daisuke. That is English, but it is. I do not know. We actually will keep that. The 4th land is kind of necessary to our continued existence. Maybe we can get a cheeky attack pass turn. I'd be down for that. Although I kind of want them to play more creatures too. There's a Whelming Wave equivalent that does it based on the number of islands you have. And I don't remember where I've seen it, but I have seen it before. And I know it exists out there in the wild. We don't really have a good Brawl's expertise. I guess I could have kept the Mana Rock, and that would have been a good target for Brawl's expertise's 4 mana or less ability. But I kind of want to work towards getting this up and running. Your sorcery. Yeah, well, this is rough, but is Jin-Gitaxias an annoying commander? Or is he, I guess what I'm trying to ask, is he, what do you call it, commander? One of those kill-on-sight commanders. You know, the ones you look at and just say, why do I have to play this? Because I'm getting that vibe. People are scooping early and yeah, well, I mean, like, Brawl's always been like that, right? Like, the Brawl, not Brawl. God, that is a tongue twister. Why do these sound so similar? They spell completely different, but, you know the one. The 2 mana, if you counterspell, draw a card, discard. That guy. He's always given mono blue the archetype of, I'm gonna sit back, counter everything you do, and just kind of let it go from there. And I wonder if Jin-Gitaxias has fallen into that same category of spell type or permanency. I don't have many good creatures, so if they Velky me, I'm not really in a bad way. They get what? Emeritus? Thought Monitor? Alright, I pass, opponent. But things are a little bit more difficult now because our opponent knows. They know we have a counterspell, right? So they want to play something that we will not counter. We're going to counter that. It's not as valuable if they know it exists, right? We might get the annoying counterspell win here if we just keep at it well enough. No lithoform shenanigans. Like, that's actually scary. I admit the card draw was just bad manners, but the lithoform engine is a necessary thing that needs to be answered. I need more artifacts so that I can get down my Thought Monitor. I do love my Thought Monitor. Got one more spell in them. Tybalt, Wicked Tormentor. Whatever happened to Tybalt? I think what's his name killed him. I wish I had an MDFC on the deck, then it wouldn't be as bad. I'm guessing... It's hard to say, honestly. We can't get anything we cast. We have to get the thing with the most value. Which would probably be like River's Rebuke. No block. Those devils are Kraken killers. Having Velky stuck on the battlefield is kind of decent. Elspeth's Nightmare. Oh, they're the 5th land. We'll play Jin-Gitaxias. He's a good blocker. No attacks, though. I like to get the Kraken back half, but... Yeah, there goes my Rebuke. Yeah. The Temporal Anchor is an artifact I put in the deck because I needed more artifacts. Beginning of your upkeep, scry 2. If you put them at the bottom, you may exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. During your turn, you may play the exile cards. Okay. So you can essentially move things from the top of your deck. Poor Jen. Well, poor Jin-Gitaxias has been bullying people all episode, so it's fair that he gets bullied every once in a while. We could hope to get something off of this, but I think this is probably just better. The Temporal Anchor. take all of the damage right now, and then pray that there is a solution. And the exile is pretty rough. We are never gonna flip him at this point. We need something specific to get us out of this. Four mana for a 2/2. I approve. So let's put these to the bottom. We don't have a legendary creature, so we can't use them. Or the Karn's Temporal Sundering. That's the real thing in there, right? We could play our Jin-Gitaxias, but we just die. Get Thirst or Flow. Cycle one more time, see if it's actually in there. It wasn't. GG, opponent. That was our game 4. We'll move on to a game 5. I did not expect the mono blue control deck to be the fastest of the recent decks, right? Like, that is crazy, actually. That's just crazy. Maybe it's that whenever people run into a mono blue deck, they're so uninvested in the game that it's just goes by quicker because they are willing to leave quicker. And on the flip side of that, if you get overrun as your mono blue control deck, you pretty much just lose, right? We're up against a Toxtrol control deck. This should be a bit of a longer match. I don't know, part of the thing that I love about Historic Brawl is that the matches vary in scope, right? Like, you can have a match that lasts 5 minutes, or you can have a match that lasts a half hour. This hand is iffy, but I think I'll keep it because Solemn Simulacrum is really good ramp. Our boy Solemn. He's very sleek these days. But I've seen his older design recently. I'm more familiar with this design, but he does have an older variation that is itself kind of cool looking. This will help us whenever we find a flow. We only have one flow, but we're good at finding it, which is nice. Honestly, it probably ranks up there with some of the most powerful cards on our deck. So we can Gear Hulk for a Counterspell. Draw 3. This is setting ourselves up for a blowout, but if they spend their turn answering us, we still have a handful of cards. I think we River's Rebuke now. So they have to land Crux of Fate to survive. I guess Whelming Wave would do it, but... Very easy game 5. Our poor opponent was land screwed though, so we can't take too much stock of it. I didn't even get to do the Great Synthesis, so Jin-Gitaxias, you will come back. You've been in half the decks I've built so far, and I've never seen you trigger any of your abilities. But we saw Ward trigger, I guess. We saw that trigger, but that's not really exciting, is it? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.